Hello and welcome to my corner of the internet. I'm Darkbloom and today we're going to be talking about Armored Core. Man, Armored Core is back, let me tell you.
We're back, baby!
I played this game as a kid and got my ass kicked in it so much, but I loved every second of it. And nothing's changed. That applies to the new one as well. FromSoftware has finally decided to pull out their Armored Core IP and give us a new game. It's been almost 10 years since we've had an Armored Core game. And they did not miss a beat. This new game is magnificent. For a while, FromSoftware got into this motion where they made a certain type of game and you knew what kind of game that was. And they kind of broke the mold with Armored Core. I mean, Armored Core was one of their first franchises. It helped them break into the market. And it was one of their pride and joys before Dark Souls. But after Dark Souls blew up, they didn't really visit anything outside of that formula. They just improved that formula to wonderful results, by the way. Elden Ring and Dark Souls 3, fantastic games. Bloodborne, one of my favorites. It just seems FromSoftware can't do no wrong. They're just fantastic developers. Like, I love them. Their games are wonderful. Sure, they kick your ass, but I mean, who cares? So let's dive a little bit into Armored Core 6 Fires of Rubicon, and I'll talk about what I like about the game and a little bit of dislikes. So first off, it is hands down a FromSoftware game. Like, it is a different type of FromSoftware game, but it is a FromSoftware game, so it's going to kick your ass. And yeah, the first boss, it is a pretty much filter boss. There's a bunch of players that just have not made it past that boss and gave up then and there. And there's tons of players that made it past the boss. I think this is probably one of the best Armored Core games ever made. I fall in the latter category. And to be honest, guys, the first boss isn't that hard. You just gotta hit him with melee attacks and then just pelt him with rockets and machine gun fire in between. Melee attacks is key. I literally killed this guy in under a minute with melee attacks. Don't let one boss scare you away from a wonderful game. That's exactly what people did with Dark Souls for the longest time before it blew up into a mainstream franchise and now a pillar of the gaming community. And it does get more challenging as you go. For example, what the hell are all of those? Oh, fuck! Dude, I was not ready for this, not even the slightest. In Armored Core, there's so many ways to approach a mission based on parts and guns you can buy from a shop. There's so many strategic ways you can go about a mission that one way, if that doesn't work, you can try something else. It's so easy to go in and respec your mech. Now, if you ever played any of the old Armored Core games, you know there's something else. They're a whole different beast. They were Dark Souls before Dark Souls. They were a niche game. It is FromSoftware's second IP, right behind Kingsfield. And Armored Core 6 makes it the 16th entry in the franchise. Yeah, the 16th entry. Before Armored Core 6, we had Armored Core Verdict Day, which came out 2 years after Dark Souls and 1 year before Dark Souls 2. So it was right before FromSoftware really blew up, you know, really started to change the game industry. So how does it hold up in my opinion? It's wonderful. The customization blows my mind. The gameplay is addictive and it makes me focus. Like, I cannot take my eyes off the screen when I'm in a sortie. It is insane. The boss fights are challenging. They make me want to just not stop playing until I beat them. I will sit here and beat a boss whether it takes 5 tries or 20 tries. And you know, the average is a little bit in between that. There are some hard bosses in this game. The biggest thing is, it's not a Dark Souls game. It's not a Soulsborne game. It's an Armored Core game. The only kind of similarities to a Dark Souls game is maybe the boss fights. That's literally it. The boss fights is probably the only thing that might even remotely remind you of a Soulsborne game or even Elden Ring from FromSoftware. The boss fights, they're a staple in FromSoftware and they're here too, hands down. I would actually be disappointed if the boss fights were not here. The game is a mission structure. There's no open world, no hub world. It is just a mission structure. If you never played Armored Core, the best way to describe the menu structure is that of Ace Combat. The menu structure is definitely similar to that. It's a menu-based game, but a clean menu. It's clean, you know what you're doing, and you know what you're clicking, and it's straightforward with you, unlike a lot of UIs nowadays. The customization in this game is so fucking cool. There's so many paints, so many reflections you can put on your mech, so many wear and tears. There's so many parts to choose from. You get more as you go as well. Like, what you see right away is not all you get, obviously. There's so much more to unlock, and it's just so fun to just mess around and build a mech and just go see how it performs. With the mission structure based gameplay, you earn money as you play missions. As you kill enemies, you earn more money depending on the mission. So you earn money, you upgrade your mech, you go into more challenging situations, and rinse and repeat. The thing is, the rinse and repeating in this game is fantastic. The mission variety knocks it out of the park, the enemies are engaging, the bosses are awesome, the gameplay is addictive as hell. It is so satisfying to just destroy mechs with powerful guns and rockets and, you know, canyons and shit. I can't get over it. It's satisfying. This is a wonderful return to form from FromSoftware, and I'm having an amazing time. Allow me to give you an example of something that blew my mind in Armored Core 6. So there's this mission that's pretty well known at this point, the Strider mission. And you take down part of his back end and it eventually kind of collapses to where you can get onto it. Once that happens, you go onto it and destroy a few parts of it, and then the most amazing thing I've seen in a long time in a video game happens. Like, this shit is memorable. I'll remember this for a while.
Damn hyenas, damaging the planet. Oh, combined with Rubicon.
See that, 621? The Strider's blowing itself up. A fitting end for something built to fail.
Yeah, this was pretty awesome. And it's early in the game too, so. Another cool feature of Armored Core is the arena mode. Now you can go into this mode and just fight mechs one-on-one, and some of them are challenging. I've only got the footage of the first 3, but I'm currently on like the 3rd wave of them, and it's insane. They get way more challenging, but it's really fun to fight them, and I enjoy it. Armored Core 6 takes place in a different star system than the other games, so yeah, we got some space travel going on here. And as the protagonist, you're a clueless hired grunt, pretty much. You are doing the corporate's bidding. They're keeping you in the dark, and you have no fucking idea what's going on. The lore is about as Dark Souls as it gets, but it's more upfront than Dark Souls for sure. But the lore, it's FromSoftware lore, alright. It gets deep if you look, and it's pretty good lore. The game does have online PvP, and yeah, it's crazy. There's only like one thing I actually dislike, and it's not even a dislike, honestly, it's more of an annoyance, is that sometimes even when you lock on to enemies, the camera will go completely wacko mode and not cooperate with you, and that is about my only gripe with this game. Were you expecting more complaints? I'm sorry about that. I actually really like this game. Now, this has nothing to do with Armored Core, but the last few years have not been very good in gaming. The list of high quality games is very small, but 2023 has been an incredible year for gaming, and Armored Core 6 just adds to that. Fantastic game, fantastic year for gaming. So many good games this year. It's crazy. Now, if you're thinking, I never played Armored Core, I don't think I'm gonna like this, so I'm ain't gonna try it. I think you should try it. This is a perfect game to jump into the series. This is a perfect game to try out if you never played Armored Core. If you played Armored Core, you definitely are already playing this, probably. And after chapter 1, the game really starts to open up to you. You unlock a whole bunch of new parts and stuff. But that boss, it is hard. It took me at least an hour of gameplay to beat him. And I had to try a bunch of different specs on the mech, so yeah. It's an overall great game, and FromSoftware did it again. Great job, guys. You never fail to disappoint. You are one company I can always count on. Good job, FromSoftware. That's about all I have today. I'm going to dive right back into Armored Core 6. I will be making more videos about this game as I learn about it, but I've only been playing for about 2 to 3 days, so I wanted to make a little video and get my first impressions out there. If you liked the video, go ahead, like, subscribe, and yeah, guys, see you in the next one.